The Haven Night Shelter Welfare Organisation has 15 facilities across the Western Cape. With nearly 1,200 beds available, it provides people with the basics, from a hot shower, a good meal and a safe place to sleep. But this is just a fraction of its work. Its ultimate aim is to help people find their way in life again. Social workers offer intervention with a focus on rehabilitation and ultimately reuniting people with their families where possible. The NGO says homelessness is a pandemic, with numbers increasing at an alarming rate. There's no simple answer as to why people end up on the street.
We find that poverty, inequality, PTSD, abuse, sexual, verbal abuse, rejection, abandonment, unemployment. There's so many contributing factors to homelessness. So we have this major drive as the Haven to get to the root cause of the homelessness and deal with those causes. And I think once we deal with that, it will make the reunification of families a little bit easier. We also, our social workers are connecting with families, and we're saying, help us to help your family member.
Lenka Diedrichs was retrenched, lost her home and car, and went into rehabilitation for an addiction to sleeping tablets. She came to the Haven facility in Greenpoint when she realized she simply had nowhere to go.
I must say that I was petrified, really, but I have heard of the Haven before, so I thought I'd give it a shot because I really had nowhere else to go. My family lives up in Pretoria and they're also struggling, so I can't really pack off on my family. It doesn't seem fair. So I need to stand on my own 2 feet. I'm 46 and I don't have a home of my own, but the Haven accepted me and I've made my home here until I can get back on my feet again.
Diedrichs is fully immersed in the programs here. The Haven offers stays of 6 months and longer if a person is committed to elevating themselves. She recently got a job and hopes to someday soon be independent again. But there are people who do not want to make use of shelters.
There's shelter, there's a curfew. Imagine at my age, I'm 44 now. Come, you must come home at 6 o'clock to do your homework, baby. Imagine, curfew. Now that is where I feel like I'm in a real prison. You know what I mean? I'm in a concentration camp, German style. You know what I mean? Of which I can never put myself under scrutiny of eating what. It's still handouts. You know what I mean? The government, they need a plan, man. You know what I mean? And their plan, lays on us, because we know what we need.
The City of Cape Town also has options available for people choosing to participate in programs.
The City of Cape Town is committed to promote inclusivity by offering social assistance to people living on the streets. These services includes safe space and shelter accommodation, access to developmental programs, access to healthcare facilities, access to identity document applications, access to substance abuse and treatment facilities, reintegration services linked to personal development plan.
There's a call from the Haven for a strengthening of existing partnerships with all spheres of government and for new relationships, including the private sector and business. It says it's a serious social challenge that affects everyone. Anyone can assist, however, not just financially, but by getting involved on a community level.
Maybe cook a meal, help in the kitchen to cook the meals, or do a clothing run to donate clothing or non-perishables and say, listen, I'm going to get my community to donate a can of baked beans. You'll be surprised how much a can of baked beans is worth in a shelter, for that matter. So I think it's important for communities to join hands and to find out and to network. And also education. It is key that we get ourselves educated about homelessness. We can read, but also to engage with other organizations like the Haven.
Verledem says there are many myths about people who become homeless, that it's drug users, the illiterate and criminals. But he says the reality is that many on the streets are educated and even hold positions of high standing in society. It's something that can happen to anyone. But he also wants people to know that anyone can reach out for help and find it. Mariska Botha, SABC News, Cape Town.